Yo, hey everyone. I am Flarebear, and with me,
I guess I'll start. To be honest,
this
today
is
I
this is
could
Doka, by
be.
the way.
Yeah, what's up, guys? But yeah, today I honestly am not feeling the best. I did a lot of practice today beforehand, and I was not like seeing results that I'd like to. So I think I'm gonna have to work really hard if I want to get the time that I hope to get.
Which would be what is a goal time, for example.
Anywhere between like 44 to like maybe a low 45, let's say.
Yeah, that's a good goal time to go for, especially in races. 44 is like getting into like the top level of runners in terms of times. There's only one existing 43, but people are starting to reach into it. But yeah, 44, especially in a race, would be amazing. And how about you, Enhu?
Uh, well, from my side, I don't feel so good today either, and I haven't been down 90% in like a week because I'm mostly an ATP runner, which is like the 100% category of this game. I have been playing
Mhm.
ATP only, but they're not so different. 80% on ATP, like the movement is the same. So, but yeah, my goal is to get also like a mid 44. I'm pretty sure I can get that easily.
Yeah,
Uh,
I
without any
would
major
definitely see
mistakes.
both of you being able to get 44s this race. That would be the goal.
Yeah, I'm mostly scared about finale and maybe bad skip, like especially finale, because I
Yeah,
don't know. I
finale and
haven't.
races. Finale and races in particular can be scary just because, while it isn't always the hardest level to do well in the run, like the mistakes that happen in that level definitely cost the most amount of time that you could get in a run. Like a screw up in finale can cost you anywhere from 1 to 2.5 minutes is I think the worst it can get.
Yeah,
Yeah, so even though it's like not the most difficult trick in the game, it can be really it can get to your nerves real badly because of how much time lost is at stake.
Yeah, that's another one. That's one I'm worried about for sure.
So other than bag skip and finale skip, are there any like in particular tricks that you guys are, or maybe levels perhaps that you guys are worried about in your run?
I will say gallery, which is the level I'm practicing right now, because I tend to mess up this level a lot. But besides that, I don't think the rest is pretty okay for me at least.
I'd have to say train rush, like, cause I'm bad at it. I've never like done that level well once in a run.
Just don't pull a melon, Luca, and you're gonna be good.
I'd hope to not do that.
Lucas Murray is legendary. Maybe you're not gonna see it on the race, but it's legendary.
So wrapping things up, both runners saying they're not feeling the best about their play, but are still able to get a 44 in a race. So that's still something really crazy, but obviously at this level they're looking for more, I guess. 43, like I said, is potential from a lot of people, so it's a crazy run that it could actually happen from a lot of different people. Yeah, we're ready to get started.
All right.
So see you guys afterwards.
Good luck, Luca.
Good luck, Emhu. To you as well.
Okay, we are awaiting a countdown.
Yep, runners are just getting ready here. We'll get a countdown soon, and we'll be off. Looks like Doka's just verifying his settings so he doesn't have any performance issues during the run. So once both players are on the start new game screen, we'll know that they're both ready.
Okay, and who's black screen? I believe he is restarting his game. I don't remember exactly what for, but he's good now. Yeah, shoutouts to Doka's Squidward file. In one of the levels in the run, they probably won't be doing it because obviously it's time consuming to do so, but one of the things in the run that we skip past is you can draw a little picture over your passport, like over Hat Kid's face. And you can like make that like your default file thing. And he's had that Squidward file for ages. He has it backed up, I'm pretty sure, so he never loses it.
Yeah, that save file is actually pretty legendary because Doka and I and Flair and a bunch of other people do co-op runs together, and Doka's usually the one hosting it. So it's a joke between us to always delete the Squidward save file, but Doka has like 20 backups of it. So I think Enhu and Doka are just about ready. We're waiting on Enhu, I believe.
One of them is ready, and then the other person needs to change something, and then they keep swapping back and forth is what's happening right now. Doka is just tabbed out of the game right now, changing some more settings. Okay, finally? Maybe? Maybe? Yeah, Doka's launching up his pre-recorded 43 right now. Doka underscore 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 versus Enhu underscore. That's the life of inactive alt accounts taking up names on Twitch. I've struggled with that problem myself.
Alright, so we should be getting going very soon here. Both runners are ready. And there we go. Alright. Finally, we have begun.
So, little intro explanation of this game. The timer that they're running off of this time is actually on the top of their screen in the game itself. This is the in-game timer that was implemented. It removes loads, obviously, and does its best job to not vary through performance, but it can sometimes slightly change, like maybe like at maximum a couple seconds over the run. So it's pretty accurate overall. And like you can see, Doka's loads are a decent bit slower than Enhu's. So a good thing to note for people watching for the first time is that pace actually, like, in terms of like who's in the lead in races, you need to take note of like, and we'll try to do a good job to explain that, of times that they actually complete levels. Because Doka might actually be ahead out of here, but obviously Enhu's finishing way faster because of his loads. So Enhu got like a 38. Yeah, Doka is barely slightly ahead. So that's just a little short explanation of that may happen a decent bit throughout the run.
Yeah, as the run continues, the gap in RTA will slightly get bigger and bigger and bigger, and we might get to the point where Enhu is in like the final level and Doka's doing the second to last level.
Yeah, hopefully it doesn't get that bad.
Yeah,
But it can vary quite a bit. Like, at worst, you can lose like over a minute to load times. Yeah. Anyway, they're in Mafia Town. what they're getting through right now, they're doing this kind of new route, which luckily they both do, so it's gonna stay consistent between them. There's a route that we only started doing a couple days ago, but luckily they both do it, so they're not gonna be straying off in different places. But they're going around and collecting yarn. They already did it in the first level, and they made the sprint hat, which is what they've been using since, which allows them to run around really fast. And then after they get this yarn right here, there's a little explanation. So Enhu pulled up, having trouble there, accidentally turned off his speedrun timer. He meant to turn off a different setting, which is the setting that skips cutscenes. And one of the cutscenes that it skips is that little snapping animation when you grab a yarn. And after that animation completes, if you collect your last yarn before hat, there's Doka doing it as well. It forces a pause screen up, and a glitch that we do a couple times in this run is kind of like menu storage. You pause and unpause right before it forces the pause screen on its own, and then when it does it, it doesn't freeze your game. So you can move around with it up, and who's in the audio menu since it's kind of small, so we can actually see where he's going. And then he runs around, keeps it all the way until the end.
Yeah,
Jumps
and
above this last Mafia guy.
what this accomplishes is he's gonna position Hat Kid right on top of the timepiece, and then get his save and exit to hub, pause screen up. So normally you can't pause the game while you're doing a timepiece animation, but with this pause buffering, you can basically do exactly what you see right here. It saves about 3 seconds, 4 seconds, I think, over not doing the pause buffer.
Yeah, it's a little bit extra time of setting up because obviously you have to watch that cutscene and collecting the yarn. But then you get to skip the timepiece animation that plays by exiting the hub, which that animation is around 7 seconds long. So that helps out. So now they have the brewer hat, which is the thing that they made while they were collecting that yarn, and it throws projectiles. And these Mafia guys, he's in that little red state right now. You can't umbrella him when he's in that red state. You can only jump on his head or throw a potion at him. So potions luckily break through that state and also do a lot of damage. So that is what is used commonly in this fight.
Yeah, so in this level, you guys are gonna see probably both runners standing in the same spot. This part of the level is pretty much an auto scroller. You have to wait until this guy stops throwing barrels at you. And this one particular spot, you can just stand in and not get hit the entire time. Possibly the most boring sequence in the speedrun because you're just standing still waiting for this guy to hop down so you can kill him.
Yeah, but I mean, you get to look at Discord while it's open.
Yeah, true. You get to
It's your
look at the text
downtime.
messages. Yeah. So, anyways, after this last Mafia guys got killed, then the timepiece will spawn up top. That should be good. What kind of time is Enhu getting here? Oh, I actually can't see.
406 is pretty solid. He got 406. And Doka is getting a little bit lower.
Whoa, Doka's
Both
like
close.
402. That is oh my god, 402. That is a very good time from Doka's side. Getting a 128 barrel battle and also a 121 she came from outer space. Those are really good ILs. He's on
By the
good
way,
pace.
I don't know if anyone has ever gotten lower than a 401 barrel battle. I'm pretty sure 401 is the lowest that we've seen ever. But obviously that early in the run, some people just like get really good at it and grind it out and get like within 1 second of optimal times like Doka does.
Yeah. So in this level, we have a little bit of a puzzle to go through, but we have a quick way of getting through it by normally you're supposed to go like all the way into this down at the Mafia HQ and platform up top to get a bucket, but you can actually just jump straight up to the bucket and solve the puzzle really quick by doing what Enhu's doing here. So you can just grab this bucket really quickly and use it to get this key. It's kind of unfortunate that you can't skip the door that you need to get this key from, because that would save a lot of time, but getting this key allows you to progress through to the boss fight, and the boss fight is probably the most notorious RNG that this game has. This game has a very low amount of RNG, but this is one of the levels that actually has a little bit of it. Basically, Mafia Man, the boss that he's about to fight, can do a series of attacks, and depending on which attacks you get, will determine if you get good times or not. So whenever you see the Mafia Man go backwards and drop sandbags on top of Enhu or Doka, then he's that's the slow attack, what he's doing right now. And it can happen twice in each phase. Enhu already getting bad RNG. It's happened twice in his first phase. The worst RNG you can get is 4 sandbags over the course of the entire fight, and the least that you can get is 2 sandbags over the course of the entire fight. So obviously, both runners are hoping for 2 sandbags over the course.
Also, one other tiny thing that can also happen is sometimes after attacks, like on Enhu's screen right there, sometimes he just gets mad and feels like yelling at you, saying something intimidating. And those are also random for whatever reason. And you can also get those anywhere from 2 to 4 times. So if he feels like yelling at you a little bit extra on a certain day, then who knows, maybe you'll lose like 4 more seconds.
Yeah, so what Enhu's doing right now, and Doka's about to do it as well, is he's charging his Guru hat in the corner of the fight, and so he's getting behind the Mafia Man before he does his Mafia Ball attack. And what this does is the Mafia Man tries to throw him across the stage, but he gets stuck on the Mafia Man himself, and that makes him it makes Hat Kid's collision weird, and it basically pushes the Mafia Man off, and he just falls into a death plane, and that ends the level way faster than it normally is. So normally there's a third phase that you have to fight, but by doing that you get to skip that entire sequence.
So now real quickly, they're opening the Battle of the Birds part of the spaceship, but just to enter one really quick time rift that's located behind it, which is the gallery. And they do this time rift early rather than waiting until they get to Battle of the Birds to do it, because it allows them to skip doing some Mafia Town levels until later that cost pawns, and the fact that you don't need pawns early on in the game whenever you do this route is the part of it that saves time. Because there's one level in Mafia Town that costs 100 pawns to unlock, and if you do it like at the start of the game, then you have to actually spend time collecting a little bit extra. And with this route, you basically don't ever need to really go out of your way to collect pawns. Oh yeah, another thing that I completely forgot to mention. There are very many controllers that are popular for speedrunning this game. And that's because like so many of them are supported. But just a little bit of information. If you can tell, Doka's on keyboard. Because the main benefit is that the camera. When you have camera on a mouse, you have a lot more freedom, and also the camera on the mouse can actually look higher up and lower down than the right stick on any controller can, for whatever reason. And and who's going for double D, by the way? A little bit ahead of RTA.
Yeah,
So
we
he's
have
getting to it early.
Pretty difficult trick here called double dupe. Basically, if you take damage as Hat Kid and grab a ticket while you're in your iframes, you duplicate it. No idea why this happens, but it just does. So you're going to, instead of grabbing 4 tickets across the entire course of the level, you only grab 2 tickets because you get to dupe 2 of them.
One by taking fall damage, which the trick itself, taking tickets in iframes, isn't a super complicated concept, but the way that you actually take fall damage right under the ticket is a little bit more difficult. That's the main problem of the trick. You have to do a really long jump and land right under the ticket, take fall damage, tech the fall. You can push A to get up from falls early, and then you jump right into the ticket. And if you do it right, then you'll barely have enough iframes left to grab it. And the torch one is a little easier. So, yeah. And then Enhu's playing on GameCube controller.
Alright, so we got our first time. Oh no, actually not our first time rift. This used to be the first time rift of the run, but now we do gallery first. So these levels are usually really cycle based. They're just pure platforming. There's no real objective other than just get to the end. So with a lot, and they always have like these moving objects. So a lot of the time you're stuck to one cycle that would be the fastest route. And also at the end of each time rift, there's a little roulette cutscene that you have to kind of go through. These can give you cosmetics and other things, but most notably, they can give you remixes. And if you get a remix, then you'll get an additional cutscene in Spaceship the next time you enter, which loses about 3 seconds.
Basically, you've seen the cutscene a little bit before. Like you saw Enhu right there talking to Cooking Cat. He did that to collect a relic, which he's gonna use to make a level later on. Whenever a character like Cooking Cat or like any story character is introduced to your spaceship, wherever you can go and talk to them in the hub, a little cutscene plays saying intruder alert, and that's the Ways game of telling you that there's someone new for you to go and talk to. One of the characters that you can get an intruder alert cutscene for is a band of owls that plays when you get a remix, so that's why that happens.
All
Right here, Enhu is going to go for a difficult trick where you skip past a cutscene trigger. He's going through it really quickly already, but you got to STJ off of that branch, jump to that one, barely have enough distance to make it, and then jump over some ropes. Those ropes, if you were to go past them, a guy tries to lure you forwards, and if you go that way, which is the intended way, you get caught in a bag, and then you have to play a 30-second cutscene. Oh, Doka falling down. That's unfortunate.
That might,
before he even set up the trick. Yeah, Doka was a little bit ahead going into this, despite the RTA differences, just because Doka's loads are worse. But hopefully he gets it this try. He has to go back and try it again. He's gonna fall. Oh, never mind. He landed on a branch and saved it. Okay, you can try again.
Saved it.
That should be good.
All right, you got it. You got it. Okay.
Okay.
A little bit of
that was like a
trouble.
20-second time loss.
Yeah.
But
I'm not sure exactly how far ahead Doka was, but he's definitely behind now. By at least a little bit.
Yeah, barely. It's close as of now. Yeah, the reason that you can't avoid going into the bag without going over it like that is because there are these firewalls that are all around Subcon, and each of them are destroyed or taken down by throwing a different set of paintings into a fire, where the fire spirits will then be happy that you like burned all the souls, and then they take down the firewall and leave. So that one right there was the red firewall. That one is required like to beat this level.
Yeah.
And then the others you can just do whenever you want to get rid of the firewall. So we do one other time, which is the one Enhu's doing right now. This is just 2 paintings, the blue paintings, and that takes down the blue firewall. If he goes for a little trickier, yeah, he's going for it.
By the way, you might have seen it on Enhu's side, but it's gonna happen on Doka's side right now. We're doing a pretty cool trick called Cherry Death. Basically, you lower yourself down to 1 HP as you complete the level, and then light a cherry on fire, and then throw it where the timepiece is going to spawn. Grab the timepiece, and then have the cherry explode. And what that does is keep from going into the back into the hub, so you can just go straight into the next level. Because in order for the way Subcon works, you can kind of just go to most of the levels that normally you would have to unlock, but you can just go to them because they're already loaded inside of the world. So because of this, you can just go straight to the second level instead of having to go back to the hub.
And I believe both of them did get the blue wall cutscene skip. Basically, you zoom in your camera, and based on your draw distance, you can get away from the cutscene fast enough that it never plays. And then you try to play it as you fall down the well, just so that you don't have to spend the time watching it. And hopefully neither of them misses setup for it, because if they do, then if the cutscene never played, then the blue firewall never went down, and they can't fix it. So they're pretty much soft locked. Not exactly, but they have to do an entirely different route to complete the run if they wanted to.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, this level is just hookshotting up to the top. It's pretty short, just because there's so many sequence breaks. Like, hookshots are generally really fast in this game, and using them wherever we can is pretty good. And like right there, it allows you to skip past all of those puzzles that are in that level. You can just take 3 of them and make it all the way to the top.
Yeah, so next up is mail delivery service. This is a quite awkward level for the speedrun. most speedrunners don't use KBM, but almost all speedrunners for this game switch to KBM just for this level because of how it works. Basically, you're going to be riding around on a scooter, and you have to shoot these guys with mail and just deliver it to them as fast as you can. See Anu doing it right now. There's a really fast route that includes like positioning yourself in a very specific spot in order to hit 2 people with 1 shot, and just a whole bunch of different like optimizations. I think Doka actually does a slightly different mail delivery route than Enhu. And also, we're going to be getting caught by Snatcher in a trap in order to sign a contract for a level that we actually can't get to before without actually entering it through the act. And that is Toilet of Doom, which is coming up after this.
And what you saw Enhu do there, I kind of missed it. You'll see Doka do it, though. It's another kind of form of the menu storage thing I talked about earlier. And She Came from Outer Space, 2nd level. Whenever you complete a contract, like one of these that Doka's signing right now, whenever you complete that, it happens in the contract he just signed as well, in the next level. Whenever you complete it, it forces a pause screen up, saying like, hey, you've completed this. And you can do the menu storage thing with that as well. Or you can just stand right on top of the timepiece when it spawns. And then you can quit out of the level because it's there. See, Doka did the little menu storage there. Now during that cutscene, he's quitting out. And who's getting Toilet Quick Kill, he's going to do the same. Unless he looks like he may have missed the timepiece.
Yeah, that's gonna be like a 6-second time loss or something like that.
Yeah, so he wasn't able to do the exit to hub there because you have to be positioned right inside of the timepiece, or else when the pause screen comes up, you wouldn't have collected it yet. Yeah, Toilet Quick Kill, kind of a complicated concept, but once you have it down, it becomes pretty simple. It's just one little instance of timing, and then you're pretty much good. The way it actually works is the toilet goes underground and pops up somewhere else for his attacks, and he's going to pause whenever he's doing that. So you can see the camera shifted there. He went underground. Doka went into his menu, changed some graphic settings. That lags the game. And then buffering an unpause while the game is lagging out, the toilet instead continues to fall down until he hits a kill plane. And that way he never comes back up like he intended to. And then the fight just ends. And you can do that on pretty much any attack he does, including the first one, obviously. So it's like a 30-second fight because of it. So right now, Enhu just skip past a little bit of puzzles. Pretty simple sequence breaks. It wants you to like throw cherries and break down the walls, but you can just jump right over them. You'll see Doka take care of it quickly as well. But where they're going is actually Vanessa's Manor, which is not a contract they've unlocked yet. But similarly to Subcon Well, you don't really need it. You can enter it at any time, whether or not you sign the contract to do it, and then once you're there, it'll just work anyway. Because the loading zone is accessible at any time. And then you get in the little developer-intended skip. Skips the entire level when you crawl in that little hole. He's at the end. And that's about it. That's a pretty self-explanatory level. Other than the ice, like, the little ice hallway movement, I guess, that Doka just got through. Is, like, the main difficult part.
So despite this really big RTA difference we have, I think Doka's actually ahead right now. Ahead of Doka.
Yeah, Doka is a few seconds ahead. Like
Yeah,
maybe
Doka
15,
is-
I think.
Yeah, I think that's right. Alright, so now that we've completed all of the main acts of Subcon, so now if we wanted to, we could go to the finale, but we're actually going to do some time rifts for some extra time pieces before we do that on Enhu's side. These are just like the time rifts in Mafia Town. Just get to the end, grab the timepiece, get your cosmetic.
So missing the cycle and the timer that Enhu's in right now is it's pretty simple to make it to the correct cycle, but whenever you don't, it's really bad. So hopefully he'll make the cycle he needs to. Basically, this last gear right here You have to hit a hook shot right afterwards. And if you make it to that gear whenever it's not raised up, then you won't be able to reach, and you'll have to wait. So, with perfect movement, like no mistakes like that, you can make it when it's all the way to the top, and just cleanly fly past it. But a little bit more mistakes, you can still make it to the gear, and you can jump up to the hook shot and still barely make it. So it's a little bit lenient. You can afford to bonk and like still make the cycle.
Yeah, Pipe and Village, which is coming up, are two of the most lenient time rifts, I would say, for cycles at least. Both the subcon ones. See what kind of strats Toka goes for. Looks like he's doing slightly slower strats, but probably safer. And he went for crazy strats.
And he's making about the same cycle that Enhu did. So you can kind of see like how much it saves there. It's really minor,
Yeah.
but it gets the same job done. The one Enhu's going into, like Pulsar said, it is lenient on cycles, but this time rift in particular is a good example of ones that aren't like heavily based on cycles. There's not that many like platforms that you need to wait on here, but that doesn't stop the movement that we do from being crazy difficult. Village is still definitely a bit of a run killer at times.
Yeah, particularly the bell at the end. There's a little skip you can do. Normally you're supposed to hit the bell and like walk around and get to the timepiece in a really backward way. But if you jump on top of the bell right at the end, you can actually do a precise jump to get straight to the timepiece instead of having to do the puzzle. As you can see Enhu get to it in about a couple seconds.
Yeah, the bells when you hit them, they are dweller bells, which the dweller mask accomplishes the same thing, but like dweller things in general is something we don't really deal with in the NA% run that much. But those little green platforms, if you hit the bell, it makes them solid. So you're supposed to do that, but you don't actually need the platforms at all if you just get it first try like he did. And then Doga's going to be doing the same thing. The entrance for Village can be pretty difficult as well. But okay, yeah, I was hoping he would go for it so I could talk about it. He got a triple jump, which triple jump is one of the movement exploits with the sprint hat. And basically when you have the sprint hat, you have two different types of jumps. Basically the normal jumps like you would if you're just walking normally. You have a jump and a double jump, and then a dive. There's also a sprint jump, which is the kind of bigger front flip jump that you can kind of see Doka doing right there. And that has a bit more speed to it. And if you sprint jump right as you cross over an edge, the game will momentarily let you do another one. So you can sprint jump twice, which is a DSJ, or a double sprint jump. And then if you get that glitch set up where you sprint jump off an edge and it gives you another jump, instead of doing a second sprint jump, you just do two normal jumps. And that allows you to basically accomplish a triple jump, or some people call it a TSJ. And that gives you a lot of height, as you could imagine. So I used it to climb up that wall.
Yeah, so Enhu just finished up Snatcher quick kill. Basically what just happened there, you'll see it on Doka's screen. He's going into Snatcher as well. For some reason, you can just barely reach Snatcher's hitbox with your umbrella. You're not supposed to be able to hit him this early in the fight, but because you can get him down to 1 HP. And then when you get to the point of the fight where you are supposed to be able to hit him, you'll just immediately kill him. So you skip basically the entire second phase. You can see Doka setting up for it right now. And after you kill Snatcher, you'll be in the Enhu's section, or this section that Enhu is in, where you just have to sign a contract. It's pretty much an auto-scroller, but you have to mash through some text. It's a pretty long sequence, but it is fast.
So Doka at a certain point stopped hitting him. There are only a certain amount of phases that you need him to go through. And then you just have to wait for this part where he gives you the potion. The intended way to do the fight is you're only supposed to be able to hit him once he's covered in blue like that. But because you can do damage to him beforehand, once you get a single hit on him while he's blue, he will just die. Because the amount of hits that they did to him beforehand, his health was already set to 0. So now Enhu's using the 2 relics that each of them grabbed, and they're making the burger, which the burger creates a purple time rift and Mafia Town, which is unique to all the other time rifts that we do in the run. Works a bit differently. Enhu Went up to the button for Battle of the
That's
Birds,
funny,
forgetting
that's
that he already hit it. That is like old route movement kicking in right there.
Yeah, so basically that's when you're supposed in the old route, which actually isn't that old. It's like less than a week old, which is probably why he still did it. That's when you first unlock Battle of the Birds. But because we unlocked it earlier and did gallery, you actually don't have to go through the little cutscene there. Let's see if Doka does the same thing.
So right here on Enhu's screen, you can see a little bit of a cool thing in this game is that objects that are moving add to Hat Kid's momentum whenever she jumps off of them. Oh no, we got
Ooh,
caught by
got
one of the
caught.
birds. Generally, the movement they try to do avoids those like birds. We kind of abuse how long it takes them to catch you by like kind of jumping right through them sometimes. But if you make a mistake at all when you're doing that kind of movement, then obviously you'll just get stuck and then they'll catch you, which warps you back. Luckily, there was a checkpoint right before the spot where Enhu got caught, so it didn't hurt him too bad. But if you were to say get caught by that guy right there, that would lose you like 20 seconds.
Yeah, that guy is he's the single most he's almost the worst bird to get caught by, and he's also the least lenient for being inside of the cone of vision. If you like get in his cone of vision for like not even half a second, he will send you back 15 seconds, and it is really demoralizing when that happens to you in a run. He's been dubbed the Terminator, killer of runs in DBS, right at the end of the level.
You
Yeah,
can see
these
another momentum jump from Doka right there. These sandbags kind of abuse that as well. There's some things like those sandbags or in other levels balloons that kind of bounce Hat Kid up. And whenever you dive boost into them, since dive boosting is like one of the fastest ways that Hat Kid can move, you just bounce into that, and then the bounce gives you your double jump back, but you're still maintaining that speed. So Doka's going to do it there again, dive boosting right into the sandbag, and then you can just fly halfway through that screen. So that's a cool abuse of momentum. And now Enhu is in the first, like the movie level. The kind of story of this chapter, Battle of the Birds, is the two different main birds, the conductor and DJ Grooves. You play a little bit of each of their little movie levels, and then there's the final boss. But we actually don't do that many levels here. We get out of here before we ever get to that stuff, so the story isn't really... It's left at a conflict in the 90% run, pretty much. So yeah, this little sequence that Enhu's in, now there's been a murder, and he has to go look for evidence, and go through a bunch of different keys and doors until he makes it to the very end, and then the story completes. But there's a sequence break that you can do here. He's jumping on top of the door frame, and that button right there, it lets you get enough height that you can make it to the top floor right away. There's like nothing blocking you from making it up there. So whenever you do
Yeah.
that, you unlock the top floor right away. And that skips a lot of the parts that it normally wants you to do. Was Enhu? He actually got it!
Dude, he got instant right. I was about to talk about that. That is like one of the hardest things you can do in this game. That is really difficult movement that Enhu just got. Basically, you'll see Doka go for it as well. If we get double insta door in a race, that would be legendary. But basically, when you sequence break in this level and you enter that door, it teleports you back after a certain amount of time, because you're supposed to be watching a cutscene, but you're not watching a cutscene, and I don't know. It teleports you back, but if you enter a door at the exact same time that you're going to get teleported back, it'll actually cancel that, and it'll just teleport you to where the door is supposed to teleport you. So you can see Doka is about to attempt the same movement that Enhu got after he does the sequence break. By the way, this sequence break right here that Doka just did is really, really big. You actually save so much time by having to not get all the keys and unlock all the doors to get up to that button.
So here goes Doka as well. If he doesn't get the movement, you'll be able to see what it looks like. Yeah, he's failed.
You didn't get
That's
it.
unfortunate. So you can see after a certain amount of time, it just warped him back to the beginning of the room. I don't blame him for missing it. It's something that generally you don't really get that often in runs. You need to have like actual flawless movement. You have to get a double sprint jump, off of the very edge of a block, and you basically have to do it instantly, or else you won't have enough time, because the time window is super strict. And he didn't get the double sprint jump off of it right away, so he knew that he wasn't going to be able to make it.
Alright, so you can see Enhu doing the first DJ Grooves level. Actually, the only DJ Grooves level we do anymore. Picture perfect. Pretty much just run around being a diva, get as much fan club points as you can get. There's a little bit of a kind of sequence break here that you can do. You're supposed to talk to DJ Grooves in order to spawn that dog there, but if you talk to DJ Grooves like at another endorsement, for some reason it spawns the dog that at the endorsement that you were supposed to talk to, so you can just skip talking to DJ Grooves twice, and it saves a little bit of time.
Yeah, you basically activate one endorsement and complete 2 of them for free. So you get to skip the opening cutscene of one of them.
Alright, so Enhu could either do... Looks like he's gonna do AliExpress for FTS. So you can see he's re-entering Murder on the AliExpress. He's not doing the level again, he's going to the Time Rift, which is located in this level. This specific Time Rift is one of the most notorious for new runners, because it requires... it's not a super precise cycle, but it just requires... It doesn't require an SDJ, but in order to do the cycle normally, you have to SDJ right here. Well, most people SDJ there, and who actually has a precise, or not precise, a little setup for double jumping instead. Basically, if you're on cycle to press this button right here, he's on the good cycle in order to complete the level as fast as he can. Once you press that button right there, you can kind of rest easy. You just need to have like decent movement to get up to this gear, and after that you have gotten all the cycles. So Enhu's actually completed it as fast as you can, as far as cycles are concerned.
Basically, you optimally want the gear to take you up to the top of the spinning gear, and if you don't make it as it rises up there, then you won't be able to reach that part of it anymore, and you'll have to wait for the next one, which costs a couple seconds. So next, Enhu should be doing Train Rush. Train Rush is the last level that we do in Battle of the Birds. It's saved for the end because if you were to re-enter the telescope again for another level after doing Train Rush, completing any of the main acts plays a little cutscene next time you enter the telescope where it shows that you've made extra progress in the finale towards the final boss. Like each time you complete a main act, it fills up a little gauge a little bit more. And that cutscene, it's worth skipping, so that's why we do a Train Rush at the very end, so that we don't have to watch it again. And then Train Rush itself is, I want to say self-explanatory, but there's obviously a lot going on. It's just throwing in dive boosts wherever you have room to. There's one kind of weird trick that's right here, actually. These platforms move forward at a certain spot, and if you precisely angle yourself, you can land on it like Enhu did, and then they just take you forward. So that just slid him forward and avoided having to skip or having to like jump all the way to it. But it is precise. You have to replicate the same movement every time from the time you enter the room. That way you can like actually, because it is precise. It's like moving really fast. You like barely land on it when you get it right. And then the rest of it is just hitting these panels that activate the next section. Then it activates more panels. And it activates more panels. Just getting used to these patterns of movement over and over. They can be annoying because of all the cannonballs that are being shot at you. And then you dive boost right into Conductor, and then the timepiece is just in your face. So this is the level that Doka said he was worried about. Because of how fast-paced the movement here is, he generally does not get the greatest times here, at least in his opinion.
Do you think Enhu forgot to craft the ice hat?
No. He's gonna get CTR yarn, I believe.
Oh, he gets CTR yarn.
Yeah, there's one more yarn that you can opt to get. That's the very end of the run, or near the very end of the run. So once he gets that one, then he'll be able to make his hat. Yeah, that's what it looks like when you miss it. Doka just barely off of his movement and just kind of barely missed the platform. And then you have to go a little bit back. So Doka's fears are coming true here. He's going to be losing a couple seconds in Train Rush like he feared, unfortunately. Yeah. Enhu, on the other hand, is in the purple time rift that we made earlier with the Burger Mafia of Cooks. And the way these time rifts work are completely different. You have to collect these rift pawns. He got a little picture piece there, which we get for a different reason, which I'll explain in a minute. Yeah, you just want to get as many of these rift pawns as you can. You need a certain amount to go through each different pipe. That one requires 4, so he got 4 when he went through it. And then there's 2 more rooms left where he has to grab more.
Looks like Doka getting 143. 143 train rush. It's better than his PB. Good job, Doka. This is the final room on Enhu's side, the final room on Mafia of Cooks before you actually get the timepiece. You can see he picked up a comic piece. That's a pretty new strat that you can do. Normally you're not supposed to be able to exit the hub when you get into time rifts. The time rift roulettes, because your screen will go black. But if you collect a comic piece, it adds an additional cutscene which you actually can exit out of without having your game make you blind. Actually, by the way, it actually does look like we have a little bit of a route difference. Doka's doing Heating Up Mafia Town before doing Mafia of Cooks. So, Enhu entering Heating Up Mafia Town. But remember, Doka still has Mafia of Cooks to do after Heating Up Mafia Town.
So in terms of lead, they're actually not far off. Neither of them have actually made any major mistakes this run. The biggest one I remember off the top of my head is Doka missing bag skip, which was like around 20 seconds. But they are close still, I'm pretty sure. But we'll have to wait and see what their times are whenever they finish up the final level before finale. So right here on Doka's end, he's abusing a little soft lock prevention mechanic. He gets himself stuck under the faucet, and the game wants to prevent him from being stuck, obviously, so it warps him back to his last known safe position, which, because he didn't touch anything before going down there, you can see Enhu doing it as well. They skip past everything as to not touch the floor, clip in the faucet so that they can, like I said, not touch the floor at all. Their safe position is still set to the top, and then it warps them back to the last place it thinks they can stand, which is right next to the cannon where you conveniently want to be.
Alright, so we have, I think, 2 more levels on Enhu's side. He's going to be doing 3 more levels. He's going to be doing Bazaar, and he's going to be doing Cheating the Race. And then finally, he will do Mailroom. And then after that, we will be going into Finale, which is the final level in the game. So, as we were talking about earlier in the race, we were talking about how there can be a lot of RTA difference going on depending on load times. Because Doka has much worse load times than Enhu does, he's actually 2 minutes behind on the speedrun timer. So it might look like he's actually way behind on the route itself, but we actually don't know until they complete mailroom, which will be the last level before finale, where these runners compare, because Doka has Mafia of Cooks to do, and then cheating the race, and then mailroom, but Enhu does not have to do Mafia of Cooks. He just has cheating the race and mailroom. So here's Doka doing Mafia of Cooks. And they're doing cheating the race. This is another one of the really difficult levels for beginners to learn because it just requires good movement, just straight up raw good movement in order to complete. And you can see during this cutscene he's going to craft the ice hat. You need the ice hat in order to get to mailroom.
And who actually collected an extra yarn. He had 9 yarn. I think he got confused on the route. We changed some of the yarn that you grabbed recently. Oh no, that's not a great time loss happening from Enhu there. Hopefully he can still win this race. He
Ooh,
bonked. That is
bonk.
bad. He's lost a lot of time.
Maybe lose. He can maybe make this.
Okay, yeah, just barely making it back in time.
If that Mafia guy gets the timepiece before you, then you have to do it over again. It's about a 30-second time loss.
So Enhu is definitely on pace for a mid 44, like you said. He could actually finish this run very, very close to his PB.
Oof. What about a mistake from Doka? Oh no. He's
Oh,
into
that was
the
bad
lane.
from Enhu. He just lost like 20 seconds. That actually completely changes everything. So Enhu missed a DSJ, a very risky one, at the very end of the level, and the movement that most people do for this does not get any checkpoints. Yeah, don't tell me he goes for it again.
Yeah,
He got a safety checkpoint that time. So he did lose, like, I think 22 seconds there. So now, I think at best, assuming he plays Finale well, he could be on pace for a, like, 44, maybe like 4x, 5x, definitely higher in the 44 range. Yeah, he's still 44 pace. But Doka should actually be... I have no idea. I'll have to see. It is really close. Assuming no chokes come out from Doka at the end here. He did have a bit of trouble on Mafia of Cooks. He did suffer a bit of time loss there. Okay, so he is fine. Like you can see there, you can actually just completely destroy the Mafia guy to the end, like Doka just did, assuming you have great movement on it. So Enhu now entering Finale. Like I said, with us not like doing anything with the Dweller hat throughout the run, the game wants you to like have that before you beat the game. It's like one of the main story masks or one of the main story hats, and that's why it gives you a warning saying, "Are you sure you want to enter?" Because there's a big Dweller wall that we need that hat to get rid of in order to normally complete it. But because of Finale skip in this route, they don't have to. So that's why we bypassed that little warning there. Okay,
Alright,
so
Doka getting
Doka...
mailroom cleanly.
Yeah, Doka is 35 seconds ahead of Enhu. So there would have to be a big event from either of them happening in Finale for this race to change.
Yeah, so like we were talking before the race started, Finale, a big mistake in Finale can cost you up to 2 minutes. It's really not a good thing to mess up on. This is definitely one of the most tense parts of the race. Enhu doing Finale slides right now. If he bonks anywhere on here, he's going to lose a lot of time and be even further behind Doka. I'm pretty sure he's going to be attempting a variant of the slides called full slides, where you don't get up at all. He's going to be sliding past invisible walls. There's one coming up right here. Okay, he dodged the first one. There's 2 more coming up. There's one at these dweller chains, these green chains on the pillar. Okay, he gets that, and then there's one more thing he's got to dodge. And he gets it. Okay, so he should be good as long as he can get up on at the end. That's the last sketchy part for slides, at least. Doka entering finale. He's about to start this sequence himself.
Yeah, this trick is kind of weird to watch because unless if you know exactly how it works and you've like practiced it, you can't really tell like exactly what's going on because it looks worse than it's worse than it looks is what I meant to say. Like the invisible walls, it doesn't look complicated when you correctly dodge them, but they are definitely very deadly, and you can bonk on them a lot. So it's a lot more difficult than it looks. But Enhu gets back in bounds and is now fighting the first phase of Mustache Girl. This is going to be the last section of the game, so depending on how Enhu's fight goes, this will be the deciding factor. He could have actually died there.
Yeah, that was scary. Oh my god, Enhu.
He's cutting it close right here.
Yeah, if Enhu dies, that is humongous time loss.
Okay.
He's good. He's good. Okay.
So he definitely lost a lot of time on that first phase, but he didn't die. So it is pushing a little bit further away. Doka would have to fail slides at this point, so... he did bonk!
Shoot. Okay, this is... Okay. This is interesting. It's hard to tell, honestly. Okay. If Doka gets slides first try, this might be pretty close.
Okay, so Enhu is going to be losing like 20 more seconds in this fight, in addition to the 38, I believe, that they were already differing by. So Doka just lost a minute there. So those time losses are starting to even out. This is actually a lot closer than it was. They both should be in the high 44, low 45 range is what I'm expecting to happen. Like, they're both definitely really close. Doka, of course, has to not bonk a second time. So let's hope that he gets through with it this time. Here's the
First
invisible
wall
wall
here.
here.
Okay, he dodges the first one. Okay.
Second one, here's the hole. This is the hard part.
Oh,
He bonks
no.
again.
Okay.
He didn't warp.
Ugh.
Yeah, he's going for dive boosts.
Yeah, it's not...
Okay.
Bonking right there and getting warped back is better than bonking and falling all the way off for sure, but it's still a tragic time loss.
So he lost like around a minute to the first bonk, and then 40 more to the warp back. But now he's dive boosting, so that's... Yeah, he's losing 2 minutes to finale about. So we might have this in the bag for Enhu. Enhu's made it to a phase where you can't actually die. No matter how many hits you take from Mustache Girl, you have infinite health. It can still be scary because it's hard to get all the hits you need right away. So you can lose time, but you are at least like guaranteed to finish the run if you make it to this point, unless if you like crash or something, I don't know. Yeah, Enhu getting punched, but nothing too bad.
Yeah, it's looking like a low 45 for Enhu. So long as
Barely
he can
have
actually
any
hit
hits
it.
left. One more hit.
Yep.
Yeah, that's it for him. That's
Alright.
gonna be a 45 2x, I believe. I don't think Doka can beat that on this pace. I think it's over, pretty much. We can see how the fight goes. It's definitely still gonna be close, but 45-20 for Enhu. 5:33 finale, losing a little bit of time, but securing the win.
Yeah, Doka's probably about... Yeah, Doka's probably like 5:45 pace right now, as long as everything goes alright. Oh, he actually went for... Okay. He went for the skip. You can do a little trick here where you can skip this dark sequence here with where you just have to wait for Mustache Girl. Unfortunately, he missed it, and also he was on 2 HP. You have to be on 1 HP for it to work.
It can be a really scary trick, though, so I'm not exactly upset or anything that he didn't
Yeah,
be able to
that's-
do it, because what it does, you die right as you enter that phase, and if you mess up your timing and die too early, then you will not get sent to the next part. You will be sent all the way back in finale to a point where you can't progress anymore because of the dweller wall that I mentioned. So you would have to actually reset the level and re-enter it.
Alright, so this is the RNG part of this fight. Depending on how many times Mustache Girl actually brings up her shield, loses time. Most lucky you can get is one cherry. This goat throws one cherry, you break down her shield, and then you just get through the entire phase. That's very unlikely to happen, but it's a really hype when it does happen. Wait, he's actually on pace because of double hit here. Okay, unfortunate. It's gonna look like a 2 cherry, but that's still very good RNG. At least I think this is a 2 cherry. Yeah, that was really good cherry RNG. That's definitely above average. Very good. Alright, Stoka just crossed over the threshold. He is for sure not beating Enhu's time, unfortunately, because of that little mishap on finale slides. Like when he missed it the first time, it was really close, but then when he missed it the second time, that kind of sealed the deal. Wink, wink.
Yeah. Shoutouts to the DLC coming out.
Yeah, the
Hopefully
DLC
that actually
sealed the deal.
shapes up to be something exciting for the speedrun community. So Doka bringing it pretty close, despite all of the time that he lost in finale. That's really unfortunate, but yeah, that cost it for him.
Whew.
So it's a 7-14 finale, getting a 46-19. So that is the win for Enhu by 59 seconds. Good race to both of them, considering how close it was going into finale. And then, finale just did its thing. Reshaped everything. Yeah, it was definitely a pleasure to show this speed game to you guys. It is a very good one. It's been actively progressing for like the past year. It's been almost out for a year, and still the entire time been getting optimized. But by the way, we have a little bit more time to fill, and actually, we are going to be doing another race. We're going to be getting a rematch from Enhu and Doka right now, because we have a bit more time to fill for the schedule. So that's exciting.
Yeah, unfortunately, I myself do not have enough time to commentate this race, so that's gonna be it for me. So yeah, thanks for having me, guys. It was very fun to commentate this race, and good luck to both the runners on their next race. Pretty pog champ to have a second chance for Doka. See if you can even up the ties. But yeah, that's gonna be it for me. So thank you guys for having me, and yeah.
Later, Pulsar. I'll stick here with you guys. Doku's got a chance to redeem himself. So both of the runners are gonna restart and set up for another one. They're getting right into the next one. Hopefully, they'll have a chance to redeem themselves and how they played. Just a little bit of feedback because they were talking. And who noted, only good thing about this run was that I got instant door. The rest was garbage. Is Enhu's feedback. And then Doku's run was a bit better, but obviously finale went really rough. So that's what shaped it up to be the way it was. But now they are getting right back into the next one, so that hopefully they have a chance, be a little bit more warmed up, redeem themselves for the next one. And now you may know a little bit more about what's going on as well. It's not really like a 2 out of 2 set or anything. It's just, the time slot, the schedule, they needed, a little bit more time to fill, so they asked us to do another race, so we're just going to be getting a rematch. If they tie, it's not going to be a best of 3 or anything like that, although that would be cool, but I don't believe we would have time for that. So we're just getting one more. A tiebreaker some other time, that would be exciting. Have them do their tiebreaker in all timepieces, 100% category. That would be pretty sick. If you're interested at all in this game, just watching any percent, should definitely check out all timepieces as well. So much of it is different, and all of the levels that we skip out on any percent, unfortunately, are all really cool. So that makes it being a really fun category. And who's setting up for the menu storage a second time, and he's getting it fine. Turning off a graphic setting here is something that helps. There's a bind F5, and you can see his shading is a bit different, and also it isn't blurry anymore. It's a setting called depth of field, and it changes like the background blur and stuff like that. And when you have that disabled, you can actually see where you're going whenever you have the pause screen up. So both of them actually use that for this trick in particular. And whose mouse sensitivity on that menu is like 3 times. Yeah, it's 3 times mine. The heck. And then just quitting out the hub. Something to note about that, the timing for it can be a little risky, because obviously you want to exit as soon as you can. But if you exit too early, by too early I mean less than 1.2 seconds, almost exactly after you grab the timepiece, then you'll go back to the hub without having it collected. And obviously that's the time loss of the entire level. So you have to redo it. But obviously both of them getting it fine. There's a visual cue that you can do so that you can cut it close to the 1.2 mark and still make it. So that's what they went for. Yeah, just getting a bit more stomps and projectiles in. And that is quick. That was pretty fast. Last guy from Enhu. We got the last guy at 28. Which is a pretty good time to get this out of the way. Doka missed a little jump there. Still getting 27. I swear, Doka's a god at barrel battle. Like we saw last race, he got the 402 out of barrel battle, which is like really solid. It's like the best that we've seen, like I said, is like 4 flat around there. And who missing a throw there, but he should still be fine. Yeah, getting like a around a 404, I believe, better than the last one. And Doka actually slightly behind this time from Enhu, but still keeping it close. Obviously, that gap will widen more based off of their RNG in the next level and down with the Mafia. Because last time Doka got a lot better RNG than Enhu, he was leaving down with the Mafia really early. That gave him a lead for like all the way up until bag skip. He just held on to that time save. And who getting a nice little double hit there. Those two guys in particular are close enough together that normally when you umbrella at someone, Hat Kid tries to kind of lock onto them. The Brewer projectiles kind of do that as well. If you position yourself right in between them, you can like have the right end of the swing and the left end of the swing hit both of them. Doka also got it as well. This is a nice little time save. Okay, there he goes. Yeah, had a little bit of trouble climbing up the wall for fight skips. That can actually be one of the trickiest parts of this jump. The rest of it, as long as you don't fall down, you're fine. And then he's entering the fight. He's getting 1 sandbag already. And a yell, so that's 1-1. That's kind of how we count it, is based off of the, since the 2 types of time loss you can get are the yells like he's doing now and the sandbags. And who's already gotten 1 sandbag and 2 yells. So not great RNG so far. If he gets another one, yeah. So he's got worse RNG for first phase. He's on 2-2 already. Doka also getting 2. So both of them on bad RNG so far. And who getting another 4 sandbag. 2 runs in a row on each of the races he got 4 sandbags. That is not very likely to happen twice in a row. It's pretty unlucky, considering the odds that that option has. There's like a probability chart for each option you can get for RNG and and Down with the Mafia. And generally it's pretty likely that you'll tend to stick closer to 3, the average. Generally average RNG is weighted the highest in this game, but Doka getting 4 both times. Or not Doka, Enhu getting 4 both times. So now they're going into gallery real quick. These boxes right here have a lot of pawns in them. You just jump up real quick, and for whatever reason they all get stuck together kind of towards the ceiling of the hallway. You just jump up and you'd see them grab like 10. There's more boxes that they jump past. You can see he kind of sneaks around them like there. You can grab a bit more from those, and they are pretty fast, but you don't like even need to get them, so they just go past them. Because like we were talking about, this is the pawn efficient route where you don't really have to worry about collecting pawns at all. Oh, and who bonked his head there on that box? He's trying to go under this thing. Having a hard time with it. Oh, he just jumps around at that time. Yeah, the way he was doing it originally is a little bit weird. Pull it out a backup, and then it ended up being fine. Doga about to do the same. So Enhu finishing first, but I believe Doka is just a tiny bit ahead. Enhu finished at 8:05. Doka finishing at 7:55. Okay, so Doka is 10 seconds ahead. You know, you could have missed it entirely, but fortunately we have time for a second one. We finished one already with Enhu getting a win because of a finale choke on Doka's end. So hopefully they can redeem themselves this time. They both wanted 44s based off of the interview. We haven't seen one yet, but they're both capable of doing it. Hopefully we'll see at least 1 or hopefully 2 in this race. Enhu getting double dupe just fine. Doka going for the same. Hitting that balloon can be tricky. You need it to get over to this clock tower, and it's at a kind of awkward angle, so. Doka using a triple jump there, that was a little weird, is a backup to get up on top of that roof. There's a relic in there, which is one of the 2 relics that he uses to make the burger. Bit of an interesting backup. Enhu almost, you can actually get stuck in that pipe. If you ledge grab at a weird angle, it looked a little shaky. I thought he actually had a chance to get stuck there, in which case that sucks because you have to exit to hub and restart the level. Is he gonna go for the cycle? His movement was a little sloppy. He may not be able to make it. Oh, he realized. Oh, but he fell down. Yeah, he made the jump, realized he wasn't gonna be able to make it, tried to go backwards. Then when he grabbed onto the wall, he fell off. Yeah, it was risky to go for that. Doka messing up the movement as well. Neither of them getting first sewer cycle. But at least hopefully Doka doesn't make the same mistake Enhu did and fall down. Yeah, he's waiting it out. So Enhu with a 10:25 sewers rift. That's a bad time loss. Now Doka is 24 seconds ahead. Based off of Down with the Mafia RNG and that unfortunate fall there. Don't worry, we always have bag skip and finale left to be crazy for no reason and even things up. And who got it on his first attempt last run. So hopefully things aren't too shaky this time. That looks good. Yes, he is fine. That was good. So he's passed it on first attempt as well. Hopefully Doka follows up, redeems himself from last run. If not, we may have this race be a little bit more close. Oh, that looks good. Doka should be fine. Yep, he's on and over. So Doka's going to actually maintain his lead of 24 seconds around there this time. Now they're just taking care of the paintings. You might go for the slide strat here. Yeah, Doka's sliding down the rocks with that painting. Is it a little optimization you can do? Because obviously it takes you so fast. But if you bonk while you're holding a painting, if you're on water, then it just falls in the water. And it immediately goes back to where you picked it up. So if you ever, like, drop a painting like that and take too long to get it, then it's really bad. Because you have to walk all the way back to where you got it. And with, especially in the case of that first one, is a lot of time loss. So yeah, just carrying that cherry up to the top, setting up for the warp again. Both made sure to jump in the fire enough times that they knock themselves to 1 health, and then they just throw it, jump right in before it blows up. Doka got a pretty solid time there for contractual obligations. That's pretty good. He hit everything he goes for pretty well. He got a solid time. Maintaining a bit of a lead here. I believe, and who's going, yeah, he got it though. He went for the cutscene skip that time. I believe he didn't do it last run, but you can see the cutscene played at the end there, so he did get it correctly. Like I said, the storage where yeah, Doka got it as well. You can see. When the camera kind of warps away, you can tell that you had the cutscene play. But like I said, if you fall down and you don't make the cutscene play, then you never have a chance to do it again, which means you can never get the blue firewall down. So it's pretty important to not mess that up. It is something risky to go for in kind of like a marathon situation or a race situation where you don't have like a chance to reset if you miss it. I believe Enhu didn't go for last time, but this time they both decided to do it. It is a bit risky. So let's see the lead that Doka has, and who got it around 14:25, I believe. 14:24, somewhere around there. So yeah, Doka's lead has gotten a little bit larger actually, just because he had a really fast contractual obligations. Entering into mail delivery service now. And who's switching to keyboard, both on keyboard and mouse now. Doka doesn't have to make that change because he is one of the few people that sticks to keyboard and mouse for the entire run. Definitely the best to do it. He's very solid for using that controller. And who getting the menu storage just fine, exiting the hub. I don't remember if he missed that last run. Oh no, the one he missed last run was in toilet. So you'll be able to see that when he does it next. And Doka doing a good job in MDS as well. So their lead, the difference is kind of stagnant, actually. Or it's staying pretty much the same. Doka was 24.5 seconds out of Mafia Town, and it's kind of still the same. And he's going for Toilet Quick Kill now, waiting for the boss to go underground. Yep, that should work. You got the timing right. Lag out the game and buffer your pause. The lag causes him to keep falling, and then he just hits a kill plane before he can continue. And he did actually get the exit to hub that time. I believe he missed that last run, so that's good for him. Doka's timing should be good as well. Having a little bit of trouble with the menuing, but he's through it fine. There we go. It's nice to grab the toilet contract so early on out of mail delivery service because of the reason that when you go to Vanessa's Manor, the little ice hallway that they're traveling to right now is closest to the spawn for where it puts you in Toilet of Doom. So you usually generally enter Toilet of Doom twice in a row for the 2 levels that you do. You can do them in either order, and it doesn't make a difference. But generally, people get Toilet out of the way first. It's just preference of which levels you like doing. Then Enhu, that was a pretty solid manor entry from Enhu. That was a really good time. Getting a 56 entering into the manor door is really solid. Anything sub 1 minute is good to aim for. That means you got really good movement on it. But 56 is like near the best that you can aim for. That's pretty solid. And then Doka should be close to that as well. Yeah, him getting a low 58 entrance. I'm pretty sure I know where all that time loss was too. Doka like hit some weird slope at the beginning, and Hat Kid standing on certain slopes in this game is kind of a weird thing. Like sometimes you can slide on them, but if you try to stand on them, then she'll just fall over, and you won't be able to do anything until she touches the ground, which is why finale slides can be so brutal. Yeah, there was just some cliff on the side that he bumped into, and it made Hat Kid stand still for like 2 seconds. And then should be getting onto the rising gears just fine. Yeah, he did the fast movement there. And didn't make a mistake. Oh, don't fall down! Oh my gosh, that save! Please! Enhu, okay. What the heck? Okay. Like I was talking about a little bit ago with slopes. If that block had turned too steep, eventually, Hat Kid stopped being able to stand on it. And so he eventually, it got too steep and Hat Kid slipped and fell over. But he landed on a blue peg off of the side, which he was able to stand up on, and then jumping back up onto it. I swear, that spinning block is the most difficult part of this entire time rift. It's like, generally, because I said this one generally is not that difficult compared to the other ones. The movement's a little bit more lenient. But I swear, it's like I always lose time on that on that spinning block right there. Now entering into village. Both of their routes staying the same, but Enhu's actually a decent bit ahead just in real time, due to his loads. I believe Doka still does have a bit of a lead over him, despite being so far behind. And that is obviously why we use the in-game timer. And who a tiny bit behind on that cycle there, but should still make it to the end. Once you're past that spinning block right there, then everything is the same, because like nothing back here is moving. You just gotta hit that bell jump. It's the same every time. As long as you don't fall down, you're good. So definitely a decent village from him. Doka getting a solid village entrance as well. Hopefully he gets something similar. Both of them get good villages. Oh, I missed the time that Enhu exited subcon. Okay, 21 flat exiting subcon. Doka should be a little bit ahead of that. Like maybe 30 seconds. Have a nice voice, thank you. I could commentate this game for hours, honestly. Doka's village time was amazing. What? 102, that's really good. Like, the best you can get there is, like, I think if you go actual god mode is, like, maybe 1 flat. I'm pretty sure 101 is, like, the best that I see. 102 is, like, that's, like, near flawless village. That might be, like, close to his gold, actually. I'm pretty sure Doka's gold is a 102, so that was a really solid split from him. Also, Enhu, pretty good pace exiting out of that Snatcher fight there. Getting the last hit at around, like, 47, I think. Which this cutscene from the last hit is around a minute long. So he's probably going to be exiting this level at, like, at least sub 150, I'm pretty sure. Doka having a pretty decent Snatcher as well. You can kind of see he doesn't even like exit like the damage state where he's glowing red, because if you're positioned right, you can hit him with like your first hit, like your first swing. Hack Kid's Umbrella has like a 3 swing combo that she does, and the first one doesn't have as much range, but if you can reach it, then you can just buffer the first hit over and over, which means you're getting like actual frame perfect hits every single time. So like, just because of that, this level can be optimized like so close to perfect. Doka is an actual god of the Snatcher fight. He has the community gold and the IL record for the level. Not only because of his consistency in hitting all the hits on Snatcher, but also because Doka goes for some crazy text mashing strats. You can text mash with multiple controllers, and you can actually see whenever you change controllers, it's just like new input, like keyboard or controller or whatever like that. And sometimes Doka's like new input thing flashes. That's because he's mashing. He's pulling out a controller just for the purpose of text mashing. He's doing it right now. He's spamming his keyboard and a controller at the same time. He doesn't even use it. He just pulls it out for text mashing faster. That's the sole purpose of his controller. He actually wants to get the sickest times on this level so badly. He optimizes it so hard. Yeah, dance pad text mashing. You don't even need your hands. It's optimal. And who had to retry that little momentum jump there off of that trolley. He got a sprint jump instead of an SDJ, which SDJ